So Malibu Horror Story is finally here, and this is what I've been hearing about for a long time. And I was stoked for it because it was looking like it was going to be this big found footage film of the year. And it finally came out, I think today, at least in the last week, for rent. And the cheapest place to rent it is on Apple. $4 for the HD. That's definitely the place to go. And yeah, so okay. I want to get some things out of the way really quick up front. So this was being advertised as a found footage film. Now, this is definitely hybrid. I mean, that's the best I can say about the movie. I would say that... Okay, so, like, it starts as a traditional film. Then about 5 minutes later, it moves into a mockumentary that uses some found footage. Then it goes back to traditional. Then it shows some found footage. And then it goes... and it ends in a traditional. So it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's super hybrid.
Very, very hybrid.
Which I'm not happy about. So I do want to get that out of the way up front. Going into this expecting found footage and not getting it.
Yeah.
Like, I know some people are fine with it. I'm fine with it too. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I've ever loved that's hybrid. Have we ever loved a hybrid found footage film?
I don't know if I necessarily like hybrid found footage films, but I don't mind when a traditional film has like a found footage like part to it where somebody's watching video or something. But personally, I don't really like hybrid found footage in general.
Yeah. I mean, I think because this was, and this might just be my fault, but I swear this was being advertised as just found footage. Yeah, I definitely prefer that. But like putting that aside, I will still gauge the movie off of the enjoyability of it, found footage, hybrid or not.
Yeah.
So I definitely wanted to say that up front because I think it's important to note for not only for us and kind of our mindset going into it, but for a lot of people. I have no doubt a lot of people are going to come to this review to see if we liked it and be kind of surprised because they themselves would have also. I also looked into this and because like when it started, it looked really good. And I was like, okay, this clearly is not some like tiny budgeted thing, right? Because we watch a lot of found footage. And we're used to people making found footage movies for like $100 to $5,000, right? Like we so we're used to like low budget cinema here. And I'm looking at these cameras and I'm thinking, oh my god, no fucking way is that the case in this film. Even with the found footage stuff, we're still dealing with super high quality
Very
HD.
high quality, yeah.
And so I'm looking this up on IMDb, and just the 3 cameras they had listed in the IMDb credits, because I went to Google to check how much each one of these cameras cost, and the 3 cameras together amounted to $100,000 of cameras.
Yeah.
And I'm in a Facebook group for found footage. It's called the Original Found Footage Movie Group, I think is what it's called on Facebook. So if you want to check that out, I am in there. And one of the guys who worked on this movie, one of the camera operators, I think what it was, he was like, oh, our movie's out, is very proud to work on this. And he said we used 30 cameras on this film. 30.
Yeah.
And the 3 that are listed on IMDb are $100,000.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the other 27 were.
It definitely doesn't.
But this thing had fucking a budget for sure.
Yeah.
On IMDb, it's listed as $1 million. So there was some serious money put into this. Okay, anyway, so let's get into the movie itself. Sorry. So this is about a group of filmmakers who is documenting these lost 4 young men who went missing after their graduation. So they find their van, and then of course they find their footage. I'm pointing at you.
Oh, their footage.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
Good co-host.
Thanks. I know. I'm the best.
You're the best. You are the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're compiling this footage and everything. They're putting together their documentary, and they are also in the caves themselves, kind of doing some research on the subject. This was like okay. This was like just generically ish okay. I'm leaning more towards that. I didn't like it. It looks really good. There is some good moments here and there. The acting is kind of all over the place for me. I feel like some are quite good and some are amateur. No one's terrible, but like the worst you get out of this movie is just kind of like amateur. They're not really authentic, but they're doing an okay-ish job. Like when you watch found footage movies, you're kind of used to amateur acting, so I feel like just the kind of baseline amateur acting that you get. Some people in this have that, but then also there's like real news anchors and that are in this, and it looks like you're watching the fucking 9 o'clock news in LA,
right?
Because you're literally seeing their opening titles and the actual people who are on those shows. And so it has an authenticity in that regard because they have the money to do that. I really didn't like the climax of this.
I didn't either, and I know you were like, oh, like judge it based on just the film and not that it but personally, like the parts that worked the best for me was the mockumentary stuff.
Agreed.
Like that's what I wanted more of.
Yeah.
I would have loved for the whole thing to be just
the mockumentary, 100%.
Mockumentary of them finding the footage, and they could go out there too. Like I don't really have a problem with that, but I feel like it honestly would have been better if it was found footage. Like I think that the effects and everything, like what ends up happening, would have been scarier if it had been like filmed, like them discovering, whatever, right, coming across things, versus what we get, which is this very like, it's traditional. It's like, okay, well that's not real, and I don't know. Not that necessarily is a bad thing, because obviously every film, deep down that it's not real, but I just didn't like the climax, but I think it could have worked more if it had been from an actual found footage perspective.
So as far as like the found footage thing goes, right? So like the desire to do the hybrid is to try to draw in both audiences.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's almost a cheat. It's like, well, I like the idea of found footage, but that's niche, and I also don't want to have to think about how I'm going to incorporate a bunch of filming, right? Because that's complicated. It is hard to come up with reasons, and it's like, well, I'll just do the parts where I can't figure that out in, traditional footage. And then when I want it to be conveniently found footage, that's when I'll move into it. It kind of gives you a little bit more freedom, so that you don't have to overthink things. And then, as I said, you can appeal to a wider audience. But for me, the mockumentary is always been the like compromised hybrid.
Yeah.
Right? That's where I'm okay with the hybrid, is in the mockumentary style. Sure. Like a Howard's Mill or a Savage Land or something like that, where they're taking a story, or Horror in the High Desert, of footage they found, and filmmakers are compiling that, and we're seeing everything through their cameras.
Sure.
Right? That's the hybrid that I like when it comes to found footage, because that's already what I consider to sort of be a hybrid, because it's already kind of fourth wall breaking in a way, where the guys are sitting there and they're like, here's the footage, and like they're talking directly to you, the viewer, about this, and it's set up like a documentary that you would see on TV. That for me is the acceptable way to do what I would consider sort of hybrid, but it's not. This is technically the hybrid. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
As you said, there's movies like there's a movie called Evidence that is like traditional for like 45% or more of the movie, and they find like footage in it, and they're analyzing it throughout the film,
right?
And you're seeing the footage and you're playing it.
That to me
like,
is
that's
a totally
not
different vibe.
This feels like, here's what this movie feels like. This movie feels like they shot a found footage movie. They couldn't make certain things work. They didn't have enough footage to make an entire film out of it. They didn't know what to do, so they went back for reshoots and decided to do all of the stuff with our main characters in traditional filmmaking and added that into it.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's so much of the film that does, like, it's all based, the opening of the film feels completely tacked on. Because then they go in, she's like, so the way it works is that she's like, hey, I want to show you something I'm editing.
Right.
And she goes into the tent and starts the edit, and he's like, go ahead, start it. And she presses play. And then we go into what should be the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's not necessary for any of this stuff before. Then we go back to them, and the climax primarily is in one character kind of running around with a camera.
Yeah.
Which then just leads me to believe that they always filmed this as 100% found footage mockumentary crossbreed, and then decided they were going to throw in the traditional stuff to pad the runtime and to flesh certain things out and fix issues that they couldn't fix. That's what it feels like to me. And I don't like that at all. Right? I feel like then that means that they just didn't plan this out very well.
Yeah.
And the characters, I don't know, there's nothing to the characters that we get as like our main characters. It doesn't really do anything.
Sure.
There's some cool shots though. There's something with a tent I thought was really cool. There's something where they turn around and there's someone gets attacked and breaks the laws of physics. That looked really cool. So there's things to take away from this. I think if you're like a hardcore found footage fan and you're okay with hybrid stuff, it's something you should probably just give a watch to. But I was kind of underwhelmed.
I was too. I don't know. I don't truly feel like I want to recommend it, but if you were interested in it and you want to check it out, I think you of course should. It didn't work for me.
It's not a recommendation to everyone, obviously.
Yeah.
It's only for that very specific group of people. You guys know when we come here with the found footage film where I'm like, even if you don't like found footage, I think you should check this movie out. That doesn't happen very often.
No.
There's very few films where I'm like, you should watch this even if you're not a found footage fan.
Yeah.
Something like Savage Land, something like The Bay, mostly mockumentaries, I guess.
Yeah.
Something like freaking The Visit, right? The Last Exorcism.
It takes a very special kind of found footage film to, I think, draw in or be interesting for non-found footage fans.
I mean, the Paranormal Activity series was
Those
very,
are very
very successful.
Yes.
So it can be done.
Yes.
But like the real low budget stuff, I think is pretty much primarily for the hardcore found footage fanatics that are like, I like this style. I don't care how small the budget is. I'm just obsessed with this style of filmmaking. Yeah. But this one, I mean, with it being a film that I didn't really like that much, and it kind of breaking away from the found footage, it's kind of like, I don't know who to recommend this to, because hardcore found footage fanatics are going to be pissed when this starts. They're going to be in the first 10 seconds, they're going to be like, well, this clearly isn't found footage. What is this? Like, it has like a panning camera through a cave, and you're like, no one's. I thought for a second maybe it was like a drone.
I thought,
And then I was like, no,
yeah.
this is just traditional filmmaking. So what the fuck?
Yeah. It's a weird one.
Yeah. But, I mean, damn, man. If you got any of those cameras still laying around, you got 30 of them.
30 cameras, yeah.
You might accidentally ship one to this channel, even though we're like, don't watch your movie, but send us a camera.
No.
What assholes we are. Never mind. Never mind. Give it to someone. So if you have one of your cameras laying around, send it to someone who loved this movie.
Yeah.
Because, man, you got 30 of these cameras lying around? Fuck, I'd love one of these.
Yeah.
I'm filming on my iPhone 12 with a broken freaking camera lens. So, and I've been filming on this one for years
and years
now. What are they on now? The 17?
At least,
the iPhone 17, so it's 5 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been at least 5 years that you've been filming on this.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I've only fucking filmed this channel on 2 cameras ever.
But that's okay though. I mean, as long as this works, we will use it.
Yeah.
So.
I'll get a new phone one day.
One day.
All right, guys. Malibu Horror Story. Let us know if you watch it. It's available on VOD, nowhere else currently. All right. Adios.
Bye.